Hello everybody, and welcome to another video. And today we're looking at a band called Mire. Never heard of them before, so I did a bit of research. And what I found was, Mire were formed in 2016 in Jupiter, Palm Beach, Florida. That's it. That's all I could find. I spent bloody hours scouring the web to try and find something about them. I looked on their Facebook page, I looked on their Bandcamp page, I looked everywhere I could find, and that is it. That is all I could find. So there you go. They are I believe they're a deathcore band, from Jupiter, Palm Beach, Florida. That's all I could find. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Today we're going to be looking at a track called Marrow Leech. Sounds delightful, doesn't it? Despite the lack of information I found, I did find copious amounts of lyrics, so we at least have that in our favour. If it is deathcore, as I believe I read somewhere, then I'm not really expecting anything too deep and meaningful, but we'll see. I have been proved wrong in the past. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it since there's little to no information to go on. So, we'll just get straight into it. So it's Marrow Leech by Mire. Well, that's a lot to take in. Now, they pretty much immediately got straight into it after there was that bit of an introduction of the record company or whoever it was that produced the song, but it immediately opened with that sort of sound, and then just went straight into this sort of relentless assault of music and vocals, which are very hard to keep up with when reading. And yes, this is very similar to the Berserker and another band I reacted to a little while ago, whose name escapes me at this moment. Can't remember who it was, but I mean, this is like fast-paced. It's pretty brutal, hard-hitting sort of music. And it's not the sort of thing for everybody. This is the sort of music I normally have to be in the right mood for. I mean, I don't mind it, but it's not something I can listen to on a regular basis, if that makes any sense. I mean, I've got like pretty much everything the Berserker ever made, and I do enjoy listening to it, but I have to be in the right mood for it. And, you know, obviously they're talented musicians here, but as far as I'm guessing, I think the drums are drum machine. They're not an actual drummer and drum kit, given the speed and the consistency of the sound of the drums. Because first of all, they sound triggered, and also the sheer speed of that double bass pedal at one point was just... I've only ever seen one person do that, and that was the drummer of Berserker, and he was phenomenal when you watched that. But even then, in the early days of Berserker, their drums were programmed as well. But, you know, I'm just speculating. The song itself actually seems to be talking about death and wishing for death. Because, well, the song opens up, I embrace damnation, then the sensation overwhelms my mind, inhaling water as I leave this world behind. I ignite the fire to the pyre of the man I was. At least in death I won't be fighting without a cause. Now, those first few lines are interesting. It says, I embrace damnation, and the sensation overwhelms my mind, inhaling water as I leave this world behind. So it's almost like they're welcoming death, you know, saying, I embrace damnation, you know, I'm holding it close to me because, you know, I welcome it, sort of thing. And it says, I ignite the pyre of the man I was. So it's like, just, you know, maybe he doesn't like the person he was in life, so, you know, he's thankful for death so he can get rid of that part of him. I'm not sure. It said, at least in death I won't be fighting without a cause. Anyway, carries on. I give myself to the mire. As I sink into the abyss, I say one prayer, I say one wish. My prayer is selfish. I give my life, swallow me whole. I want revenge in exchange for my soul. You can have it. So, you know, whilst he's embracing death, it says, I want revenge in exchange for my soul. So is he wanting to be reborn to take revenge on someone? Is he, you know, getting rid of this mortal form to be reborn? I don't know. I am the child of hatred. I am the servant of death. I am the servant of death. Spit in the face of forgiveness, cursing you with every breath. I can hear the mire answer with the wind through the leaves as they brush together. They say to me, the only way to be reborn is to wilt and die. And then he repeats the word die 7 times in varying ways. So, you know, it does seem to be somebody embracing death, wanting to leave who he used to be behind, to be reborn anew so he can face up to someone that has wronged him in some way. So, interesting. Let's carry on and see where this goes.
Give me
Well, there we go. That was Marrow Leech by Mire. That was one hell of an assault on the senses. Now, like I said, it's the sort of music you really have to be in or that I have to be in the right mood to really enjoy. I mean, it wasn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination. Like I said, normally I have to be in the right mood for it, but I can appreciate the skill and, the ability within the song. I mean, he sings in 2 or 3 different vocal styles throughout that track. I mean, there's the 2 most obvious ones, the really sort of high-pitched, sort of screamed extreme vocals, and then you've got the really deep gutturals as well, and there was one somewhere in between at one point in the track, but it wasn't used all that much. So, very interesting. Obviously, he's got a very good vocal ability. There was guitars and bass in there. For the most part, they were just like really fast, relentless riffs. There wasn't much melody to them, but there were elements where there was a bit of melody played. There was a bit where there was like chugging guitars and bass, which almost sounded like a doom riff, so not too bad. Very interesting, I can say that much. Now, the song carried on. I close my eyes and feel myself slip away, drifting ever so sweetly into the abyss, into darkness. I let the depths consume my carcass. I let the depths consume my carcass. I beg this corpse to release me, so I can be one with the mire. The mire. As I sink into the abyss, I say one prayer, I say one wish. My prayer is selfish. I give my life, swallow me whole. I want revenge in exchange for my soul. You can have it. I am the child of hatred. I am the servant of death. I am the servant of death. Spit in the face of forgiveness, cursing you with my every breath. I curse your name with every breath that I have left. I've been watching you through the hollows of the trees, waiting for the day you'll die and be with me. So, it's a pretty grim track, but as I said, he seems to be wishing for death so he can be reborn in some way or other to get revenge on this person or, whatever it is that seems to have wronged him or betrayed him in some way. So, unlike a lot of deathcore, there is actually some sort of story or meaning behind it. It might not be terribly deep, but there is actually something behind it. So, it's very interesting. I actually do like the way the song is written lyrically. I actually quite like it. Vocal performance, like I said, was quite impressive. But as I've said several times already, it's the sort of track I have to be in the right mood for. But I didn't hate it. I wouldn't say it's like one of the best ever tracks I've ever heard. But, I didn't hate it either. So, very interesting. And like I said, I can appreciate the talents and abilities of the other musicians as well. The drums clearly were programmed, but overall, not too bad. I know that there are many people who won't appreciate this, I do know that. But, I can appreciate it. I think it's alright. It's possibly something I would listen to if I was in the right mood. But can't really think of much else to say about it. So I'm going to leave that as it is. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. You can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me through my Facebook or my Instagram, or even through my Patreon, where you could also help to support me should you so feel the need. It'd be extremely helpful, obviously, because I can't monetize any of my videos through YouTube because they've got copyrighted content in them. The bands automatically get all the funding that is raised from these videos, so I get absolutely nothing from it. Do know though, if you do make a suggestion, it might take me a while to get around to it, since I get suggested so many new tracks every single day. For every one video I make, I get suggested a dozen more, so my list grows faster than I can record the videos. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it will get done eventually. It'll just take me a while to get around to it. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those that are aimed towards people of the alternative culture, people who listen to alternative music or wear alternative fashion. Obviously, they want to put an end to all hate crimes, but the alternative culture is their main focus, since that's how the foundation came into being, and it's something that is really important to me, something I feel really needs so much more attention than it gets, because it doesn't get enough attention. Because every single day we hear about all sorts of hate crimes all over the world, racism, sexism, homophobia, this sort of thing. We hear about these things every single day in the news, on social media, everywhere. But what we're not hearing enough about is these people who are getting violently attacked and brutally beaten purely because of their taste in music and their taste in clothing. Every single day, people are getting violently attacked. Some people are even getting hospitalised just purely for the fact that they like heavy metal or alternative music. And it's unacceptable. When you actually think about it, violently attacking someone because of their taste in music, it sounds ridiculous. You can't even imagine that this sort of thing would actually happen because it's just so stupid. But it does happen. And it makes no sense. I mean, you don't attack people because they like different movies and TV shows, do you? So why would you attack someone because they like different music? It's completely nonsensical. People are just using someone's taste in music and clothing as an excuse, because they're looking for a fight. They want to find someone that doesn't conform with what they consider to be normal. So they look for anybody who stands out, and they're going to target them because obviously we're a minority in a sense, and we're easy to pick out. It's like, that person looks different, let's go for them. And it's ridiculous because people are getting really, really badly hurt. And when it comes to a point where a young girl, Sophie Lancaster, gets so violently beaten that she dies from her injuries, things have gone way too far. It's unacceptable that people are getting attacked, let alone the fact that a girl got brutally beaten to death just because she wanted to be an individual, just because she wanted to be herself. It enrages me that this happens. Not everybody wants to be a sheep. Not everybody wants to follow the latest trends and fashions. Not everybody likes a certain type of music because everybody else likes that kind of music. Some people think for themselves and like whatever they like. They don't deserve to be attacked or punished for that fact. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Easy. If you don't like what someone's wearing, don't look at them. Simple. There is no need to violently attack someone just because they don't agree with you, just because they don't fit into your mould. People are allowed to be individuals, and nobody has any right to tell them otherwise. And as I said, this is something I feel very strongly about. I'm very passionate about this because, most of my life I've been attacked because I like alternative music, because of the way I dress. And so have many of my friends, and I know some of you out there have as well. And it's something that needs to stop. It's something that needs more attention bringing to it. And that's what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to put a stop to this happening. They don't want to see another family go through what they went through when they had to watch their daughter slowly die from the brutal injuries caused by a group of intolerant idiots. So if you'd like to find out more about Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them in any way, even if it's something as simple as one of these Sophie bracelets, which are like £1 off their web store, if you can help them in any way, the smallest amount makes the biggest difference. And the sooner we can bring more attention to this, the sooner we can stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.